everyone. Welcome back to another inspiring episode on Mr. English Explorer. It's such a pleasure to have you here again today. Before we dive into our main topic, I just want to say thank you for tuning in and spending your time with us. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Your support truly helps us grow and reach more people who love to learn and explore English conversations in a meaningful way. Today's topic is something that touches every human heart. We're going to talk about love and relationships. It's a big topic, emotional, deep, and sometimes complicated. But at the same time, it's also the most beautiful part of our lives. To help us explore this journey, we have our wonderful guest today, Jack. Welcome to the show, Jack.
Thank you, Amma. It's great to be here again. And wow, what a topic. Love and relationships. That's something we all experience, one way or another. I'm excited to share and reflect on it with you today.
I'm really glad to have you here, Jack. So let's start from the very beginning. When people hear the word love, it can mean so many things. Some think of romance, others think of family, friendship, or even self-love. What does love mean to you, Jack?
That's a beautiful question, Amma. To me, love is the pure connection between souls. It's not just a feeling, it's a choice and a commitment. It's the act of caring, understanding, and supporting someone, even when things are not perfect. I believe love grows when we decide to be kind, to listen, and to stay loyal even through difficult times. It's not always butterflies and excitement. Sometimes love is quiet, patient, and full of effort.
That's so true. People often think love is only about passion or excitement, but in reality, it's also about understanding, respect, and effort. It's not just how we feel, but how we choose to treat someone every single day.
Exactly. And love changes over time. When you first meet someone, it's full of emotions and dreams. But as time passes, you start to see each other's flaws, challenges, and habits. That's when real love begins. Because true love is not about perfection. It's about acceptance.
I love that. True love is not about perfection, it's about acceptance. That line could be a quote, Jack. But tell me, how do people know if what they're feeling is truly love and not just attraction or infatuation?
That's a great question. Attraction is instant. It's based on looks, chemistry, and excitement. But love takes time. It grows when you really get to know someone, their values, their struggles, their dreams. Love is patient. It's not rushed. When you love someone, you care about their happiness, not just your own. You want to grow with them, not just enjoy them. Infatuation burns fast and fades quickly, but real love glows steadily, like a quiet fire that keeps you warm even on cold days.
That's so beautifully said. I think many people confuse temporary emotions with long-term love, especially in today's world where everything moves so fast. People fall in love quickly and sometimes fall out of it just as fast.
Yes, modern relationships often face that challenge. We live in a world where communication is instant, but emotional connection is not always deep. People text every day, but sometimes they don't truly talk or listen to each other. That's why relationships today require even more honesty and emotional maturity.
That's really interesting, Jack. Let's talk about communication then. How important do you think communication is in maintaining love and relationships?
It's absolutely essential, Amma.
Communication is the heart of every healthy relationship. Without it, misunderstandings grow, and silence becomes distance. When couples talk openly about their feelings, needs, fears, and even mistakes, they build trust. It's not just about talking, but also listening. Sometimes love means listening quietly to someone's pain without trying to fix it, just being there with them.
That's true. Many people believe that talking solves everything, but real communication also means listening with empathy. Sometimes people just want to be heard and understood, not judged or corrected.
Exactly. Empathy builds emotional safety. When someone feels safe with you, they can open up, share their truth, and be vulnerable. And vulnerability is what makes love deep and real. When two people can be themselves without fear, that's when connection becomes unbreakable.
That's such a powerful thought. Love without vulnerability is like a flower without roots. It might look beautiful for a while, but it won't last long. Jack, have you ever experienced moments where communication saved a relationship?
Yes, absolutely. There were times when silence almost destroyed what we had. But when we finally sat down and talked, honestly and with respect, things began to heal. I realized that most relationship problems are not because of lack of love, but lack of understanding. People don't need perfect partners. They need understanding hearts.
That's really moving. And I think that's something everyone listening can relate to. Sometimes we argue, we distance ourselves, but deep down, we still care. We just don't know how to express it.
Yes, and the best way to fix that is to slow down, breathe, and remember that you're both on the same team. Love is not about winning arguments. It's about protecting the bond you share.
That's so wise, Jack. It's easy to forget that in moments of anger or frustration, but in the end, no one truly wins an argument if the relationship loses.
Exactly. Love grows when both people choose peace over pride. When you care more about the relationship than about being right, that's when it becomes strong and mature.
Beautifully said. So, Jack, let's explore another side of love, self-love. Before we can love others deeply, we must also love ourselves, right?
Yes, absolutely. Self-love is the foundation of all relationships. If you don't value yourself, you might seek validation from others in unhealthy ways. When you love yourself, you attract healthy love because you know your worth. It's not arrogance, it's self-respect. You can't pour from an empty cup, so fill your own heart first.
That's so true. Many people try to fix their emptiness by finding someone to fill it. But in reality, love should be something you share, not something you need to survive.
Exactly, Amma. Love is not about finding your missing half. It's about meeting someone who complements your wholeness. When two whole people come together, they create a partnership, not dependency.
I love that idea, Jack, because healthy love doesn't cage you, it helps you grow. And that's what we'll continue to explore next, how love helps us become better versions of ourselves.
That's a great direction, Amma. Because love isn't just about being happy together, it's also about growing together. Supporting each other's dreams, challenges, and growth. That's what makes love last beyond time.
Beautiful. And with that thought, let's take a short breath. We'll continue in our next segment, where we'll dive deeper into how love evolves, how to handle heartbreak, and what makes relationships truly last. Stay tuned. This is Mr. English Explorer, and we're just getting started on this journey about love and relationships. So, Jack, before the short pause, you mentioned that love is not just about being happy together, but also about growing together. Let's start from there. How do you think love evolves over time from the first spark to a deep, mature connection?
That's a beautiful question, Amma. I think love begins with emotion, but it matures through experience. At first, everything feels new, exciting, almost magical. But as time goes on, love shifts from passion to partnership. It becomes less about me and you and more about us. It's not just about butterflies anymore. It's about balance, trust, and understanding.
That's so true. When love is new, people often try to impress each other. But real love starts when both partners can simply be themselves. They no longer need to pretend or perform. They just are, comfortable, open, and real.
Exactly. Love evolves when two people start to see each other completely. The strengths, the weaknesses, the fears, and still choose to stay. That's when you know it's deep. It's easy to love someone's smile, but it takes maturity to love their scars too.
That's powerful, Jack. And that brings me to something every listener has probably felt at some point: heartbreak. Because even though love can be beautiful, it can also bring pain. What do you think is the hardest part about heartbreak?
The hardest part, I think, is letting go of the idea of what could have been. When a relationship ends, we don't just lose a person, we lose the future we imagined with them. That's what hurts most. You have to grieve not only the love you had, but also the dreams you built together.
Yes, that's so true and so deep. Heartbreak is not just about losing someone, it's about losing a part of yourself that existed only with them.
Exactly. And that's why healing takes time. You can't rush it, you can't skip it. You have to sit with your pain, understand it, and slowly learn to let it go. Healing doesn't mean forgetting, it means remembering with peace instead of pain.
That's beautifully said, Jack. So, how can people heal in a healthy way after heartbreak? Because sometimes we see people jump quickly into another relationship just to escape the emptiness.
Yes, that happens often. But that kind of escape doesn't work for long. Healing requires reflection. You have to take time to understand what went wrong, not to blame yourself or your ex, but to grow from it. Ask yourself, what did I learn? What do I want to do differently next time? Healing is about rebuilding your heart stronger than before.
That's a wise perspective. And I love how you said healing means remembering with peace. It shows that even after pain, love can still teach us something.
Absolutely. Every love story, even the painful ones, teaches us something valuable. It teaches us how to listen, how to care, how to understand ourselves better. Sometimes the love that breaks you also builds you.
That's so true. You know, Jack, I once heard someone say, the heart never really breaks, it just expands. And I find that so beautiful because every experience, joy or pain, adds to our emotional depth and wisdom.
Wow, I love that quote, Amma. Yes, the heart expands. We become more compassionate, more understanding, and more patient with others once we've felt pain ourselves. That's one of the hidden gifts of heartbreak. It softens us, makes us kinder.
That's such a healing way to see it. But then, let's move from heartbreak to something hopeful. What do you think makes love last, truly last, through time, distance, and challenges?
That's the golden question, isn't it? I think lasting love is built on three pillars: trust, respect, and communication. When those three are strong, love can survive almost anything. Trust keeps the bond safe, respect keeps the love pure, and communication keeps the connection alive.
That's very true. It reminds me that love is like a garden. If you don't water it, it fades. But if you nurture it daily with honesty, kindness, and care, it grows beautifully.
Yes, love is a living thing. It needs attention, patience, and effort. Sometimes people think love should always feel easy. But even the strongest relationships require work. It's not about constant happiness. It's about constant effort to understand, forgive, and grow together.
That's such an important reminder. People often give up too soon when things get hard. But love isn't about perfection. It's about two imperfect people choosing to stay and keep trying.
Exactly, Amma. Love is a daily decision. It's saying, I choose you again and again, even when it's not easy. And that's what makes it beautiful. It's a journey, not a destination.
I really love how you put that. It's a journey, one that requires growth, forgiveness, and shared dreams. Speaking of dreams, how important do you think it is for couples to support each other's goals and ambitions?
It's extremely important. Love isn't about holding someone back. It's about helping them rise higher. When you truly love someone, you celebrate their success, not fear it. You push them forward, not hold them down. The best relationships are those where both people inspire each other to become their best selves.
That's so inspiring, Jack. True love gives freedom, not control. It helps both people grow individually and together.
Yes, Amma. And that's how love evolves from romance into partnership and from passion into purpose. When two people share not just affection, but also vision and respect, their love becomes unstoppable.
That's beautifully expressed. It shows that love isn't just an emotion, it's a powerful energy that can shape lives. And I think that's what everyone listening can take away today.
Exactly. Love isn't something you find, it's something you build day by day through care, honesty, and kindness.
That's such a perfect note to pause on, Jack. In our next conversation, I'd love to talk about how to keep love alive through small actions, appreciation, and emotional connection. Because sometimes it's not the big things that make relationships last. It's the little moments of love every day.
That's a great direction, Amma. I'm excited to dive into that next because love isn't about grand gestures. It's about consistent care.
Exactly. So stay with us, everyone. Jack, let's talk about the little things in love, those everyday actions that often make the biggest difference. How do you see small gestures impacting a relationship over time?
Those small gestures are everything, Amma. A kind word, a thoughtful message, making time for someone. It's consistent care that shows love is not just a feeling, but a practice. Over time, these small acts build trust and emotional security. They remind your partner that you see them, appreciate them, and are committed.
Absolutely. Sometimes people wait for big moments to express love. But love grows quietly in the small moments, sharing a laugh, helping without being asked, listening carefully.
Exactly. Even mundane routines become meaningful when done with intention. A cup of coffee in the morning, a text that says, "I'm thinking of you." These tiny acts compound and become the backbone of a strong relationship.
I love that. It's interesting how love is both grand and subtle at the same time. The big gestures are memorable, but the small ones sustain the connection daily.
Yes, and I think appreciation is closely connected to that. When we notice and acknowledge what our partner does, we make them feel valued. People often forget to say thank you for the everyday things, but expressing gratitude is like watering the soil of your relationship.
Exactly. A simple, "I appreciate you," or "Thank you for being here," can change the whole dynamic. It strengthens bonds and encourages more caring behavior.
Yes, Amma. And it's not just words. Actions matter too. When you show love by being present, listening, and supporting, your partner feels secure. That security allows intimacy and emotional closeness to deepen.
Speaking of intimacy, how do you define it beyond the physical aspect? Because so many people confuse intimacy with only romantic gestures.
Intimacy is connection on every level: emotional, mental, spiritual. It's being able to share your fears, dreams, and deepest thoughts without fear of judgment. When you truly know someone, and they truly know you, that's intimacy. It's feeling safe to be vulnerable and being accepted completely.
That's such a profound way to put it. And it explains why some relationships might have physical closeness but lack true intimacy.
Exactly. You can be close physically but distant emotionally. True intimacy requires presence, attention, and effort. It's about understanding your partner's inner world and being there consistently.
I like that. And I think that's where emotional intelligence comes in. Being aware of your own emotions and your partner's emotions makes communication and connection much deeper.
Absolutely. It's also about empathy, feeling what your partner feels and responding with care. Empathy allows conflicts to resolve with understanding instead of anger. It's the bridge between love and harmony in a relationship.
Yes, empathy transforms disagreements into opportunities for growth. Because instead of fighting to win, couples learn to understand and adapt.
And that brings us to another important point: forgiveness. No relationship is perfect. Mistakes happen, hurts happen. Forgiveness is essential for love to survive and flourish. It's not about forgetting, but about releasing resentment and choosing to move forward together.
Forgiveness is such a crucial skill. Holding on to past pain only blocks growth. When we forgive, we open space for love to continue evolving.
Exactly. And it's also about self-forgiveness. Sometimes we blame ourselves for things beyond our control. Healing and moving forward requires accepting our own imperfections. Only then can we fully give and receive love.
That's really insightful, Jack. So if we combine all these ideas, small gestures, appreciation, emotional intimacy, empathy, and forgiveness, we get a strong foundation for lasting love.
Yes, Amma. Those elements work together like threads weaving a strong fabric. Without one, the fabric becomes weak. Love is not magic alone. It's intentional effort, care, and shared growth.
And shared growth is key. Couples who grow together challenge each other positively and support each other's dreams, create relationships that endure time.
Absolutely. When two people invest in each other's personal growth, they create a partnership where love continues to deepen rather than fade.
Amma, let's touch on challenges for a moment. Every relationship faces obstacles. How should couples approach challenges without harming their connection?
The first step is mindset. Challenges are inevitable, but they don't have to destroy love. See obstacles as opportunities to learn about each other and strengthen the bond. Communicate openly, avoid blame, and tackle the issue as a team.
That's so important. Many people let pride or anger escalate conflicts, But approaching problems collaboratively keeps respect and connection intact.
Exactly. And patience plays a huge role. Some issues take time to resolve. Pushing too fast or demanding immediate change can create tension. Love requires patience, understanding, and sometimes stepping back to gain perspective.
Yes, patience is often underestimated. It allows space for reflection, empathy, and emotional regulation. Without it, small conflicts can spiral into major rifts.
And finally, Amma, trust is the backbone of handling challenges. When trust is strong, couples can face adversity together. They believe in each other's intentions, even when mistakes happen. Trust, combined with communication and empathy, is what makes love resilient.
Beautifully said, Jack. I think listeners can really feel how all these aspects, empathy, forgiveness, patience, trust, appreciation, interconnect. It's not just one thing that makes love last. It's the daily practice of many small, meaningful actions.
Exactly. And when you approach love as a continuous journey, not a destination, it becomes fulfilling and lasting. Even challenges become opportunities to strengthen the bond rather than weaken it.
I love that. Love as a journey with effort, care, and shared growth. It's realistic, meaningful, and truly beautiful. Amma, let's dive into how couples can keep love alive over the long term. It's easy in the beginning, when everything feels new, but what about after years together?
That's a great point, Amma. Love requires ongoing attention, even when life gets busy. Small habits matter. Sharing meals, checking in emotionally, celebrating achievements. Consistent connection keeps intimacy alive.
Yes, and I think intentional time together is crucial. Even 5 minutes of focused attention, really listening and being present, can make a difference.
Exactly. Couples often underestimate the power of being present. Phones, work, distractions, they can steal connection if we're not careful. Intentional presence says, "You matter to me," without words.
I love that. And it's not just the big gestures, right? It's the everyday moments of care.
Absolutely. Small, repeated actions, a thoughtful message, a shared laugh, a spontaneous hug, create emotional safety. They signal love continuously, not just on special occasions.
And what about handling life transitions? Moving, new jobs, children. These changes can put stress on relationships.
Transitions test relationships. The key is flexibility and support. Partners need to adapt together, communicate expectations clearly, and maintain mutual respect. Shared goals and empathy help navigate those changes.
So you're saying that love isn't just a feeling during good times. It's tested during life's changes.
Exactly. The strongest love is proven during challenges. How couples respond, with patience, understanding, and collaboration, shapes the long-term bond.
That makes sense. And I imagine keeping shared rituals helps, like weekly dinners, date nights, or personal traditions.
Yes, rituals create stability and connection. They give couples a sense of continuity and belonging. Even small routines like morning coffee together can reinforce emotional bonds.
And what role does gratitude play in long-term love?
Gratitude is powerful. Acknowledging your partner's efforts regularly strengthens the relationship. It fosters positivity and reminds both partners why they value each other. Even noticing small things like making tea or helping with chores nurtures appreciation.
I agree. Gratitude keeps love alive because it focuses attention on what's working rather than what's lacking.
Exactly. It prevents taking each other for granted. Couples who regularly express gratitude feel more satisfied and connected,
Let's talk about challenges that aren't external, but internal, like personal growth differences.
That's important. People change over time. Sometimes partners grow in different directions. Open communication, curiosity about each other, and support for individual growth are key.
So, instead of fearing change, couples should embrace it.
Yes. Love thrives when partners see growth as a shared journey. Supporting each other's dreams, even if they lead in different directions temporarily, strengthens mutual respect and intimacy.
And what about conflicts? They inevitably happen. How should couples manage them constructively?
Conflicts are normal. The difference lies in approach. Avoid blaming or attacking. Focus on expressing feelings and needs clearly. Active listening, empathy, and problem-solving together prevent resentment.
So, fight with love, not against each other?
Exactly. It's not about winning. It's about understanding and finding solutions together. Couples who master this approach deepen trust and connection.
I see. And humor can also help, right?
Definitely. Shared laughter eases tension and reminds couples of their bond. Humor keeps love playful and light, even during stressful moments.
That's such a great point. And I think emotional check-ins are essential too.
Yes, regularly asking each other, "How are you feeling? What do you need?" strengthens connection. It shows care and prevents distance from creeping in unnoticed.
And speaking of distance, what about couples in long-distance relationships?
Distance tests trust and commitment. Frequent communication, intentional visits, and shared goals help. Also, maintaining independence and self-growth prevents codependency.
So, love across distance is possible with effort, trust, and communication.
Absolutely. Distance can actually deepen love if partners remain intentional.
Jack, let's reflect on how love changes with time.
Love evolves. What begins as passion often grows into deep respect, understanding, and shared purpose. The initial excitement transforms into a reliable, comforting, and fulfilling bond.
So, in the long run, love becomes less about intensity and more about consistency, care, and commitment.
Exactly. It's less about sparks and more about steady light. Daily acts of care, empathy, and support become the pillars of lasting love.
I love that metaphor. Love as a steady light. It endures storms, illuminates the way, and nurtures life around it.
Yes, Amma. And it reminds us that relationships are ongoing journeys. They need attention, intention, and adaptability to thrive.
Jack, in your experience, what advice would you give couples to maintain passion alongside stability?
Balance is key. Keep shared hobbies, plan surprises, and maintain physical intimacy, but also invest in emotional closeness, understanding, and mutual respect. Passion is sustained when both people feel valued, understood, and inspired by each other.
So, stability and passion aren't opposites. They complement each other.
Exactly. A secure relationship provides the foundation for passion to flourish. Without trust and connection, passion alone fades quickly.
And what about forgiveness in long-term relationships? Is it different than in early love?
It's deeper. Long-term relationships encounter more mistakes, misunderstandings, and disappointments. Forgiveness becomes essential to maintain harmony. It's not just letting go of minor mistakes, but also accepting imperfections. Forgiveness is a daily practice,
a choice to keep love alive.
Jack, this conversation is so rich. We've covered appreciation, emotional intimacy, handling challenges, personal growth, distance, forgiveness. It shows that love is multidimensional and requires ongoing effort.
Absolutely, Amma. Love is a living process. It's nurtured daily through care, empathy, communication, and intentional actions.
And it's not always easy. But when both partners are committed, it becomes profoundly rewarding.
Yes, love is not just about receiving. It's about giving consistently, growing together, and supporting each other through life's ups and downs.
And with that, we've explored so many ways to keep love alive, even as life changes. Jack, as we move into the final part of our discussion, I want to explore the deepest layer of love, emotional connection. How can couples maintain a deep emotional bond over many years?
Emotional connection is cultivated through consistency, empathy, and shared experiences. It's about being present, listening actively, and validating each other's feelings. When you make a habit of checking in emotionally, you strengthen trust and intimacy.
So it's less about grand gestures and more about everyday attentiveness?
Exactly. Daily interactions, asking how someone feels, sharing your thoughts, laughing together, create a strong emotional foundation. Even when life is busy, taking intentional moments for connection makes a big difference.
And how do couples balance independence with closeness?
Independence is essential. Partners should pursue personal goals and self-growth. Closeness thrives when both people are whole and fulfilled individually. It's about being together while still respecting each other's individuality.
That balance seems crucial for long-term happiness.
Absolutely. Love that depends on codependency becomes fragile. Healthy love grows when both partners are strong individually, yet connected emotionally.
Amma, let's reflect on long-term happiness in relationships. What are the key ingredients?
Mutual respect, gratitude, shared vision, effective communication, emotional intimacy, and forgiveness. Also, keeping curiosity alive, asking questions, exploring each other's thoughts, and never assuming you fully know your partner. A relationship thrives when both continue to learn and grow together.
I love that idea. Curiosity and love. It keeps the relationship fresh and dynamic.
Yes, curiosity and appreciation together prevent stagnation. They encourage playfulness, exploration, and deeper understanding.
And what about handling challenges that seem insurmountable?
Perspective is key. See challenges as opportunities to grow together rather than threats. Teamwork, empathy, and clear communication turn difficulties into moments of strengthening love.
Emma, as we wrap up this beautiful discussion, what is the one thing you'd like everyone listening to remember about love and relationships?
Love is a journey, not a destination. It requires patience, effort, consistency, empathy, forgiveness, and shared growth. It's not always easy, but the reward is a bond that nurtures both hearts.
Beautifully said. And for everyone listening, I hope you feel inspired to cultivate love consciously, to appreciate the little moments, to communicate deeply, and to grow together with your partner.
And don't forget, self-love is just as important. A healthy relationship starts with valuing yourself. Only then can you give and receive love fully and meaningfully.
Absolutely. So before we close, I'd like to take a moment to thank all of you. Thank you for spending this time with us on Mr. English Explorer. If you enjoyed this conversation, please subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with your friends. Your support helps us continue bringing meaningful discussions about life and English learning.
Yes, thank you all. Your engagement, curiosity, and love for learning make this journey possible. We're grateful for each of you tuning in today.
And remember, love is about everyday choices, small gestures, empathy, communication, patience, and growth. Keep nurturing your relationships and your own heart.
Exactly. Love is intentional, continuous, and beautiful.
Thank you so much for joining us. We hope this discussion inspires you to deepen your connections and appreciate the people you love. See you in the next episode of Mr. English Explorer. Take care, stay curious, and keep exploring both English and life.
Goodbye, everyone. And keep loving wisely and fully.